Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Good morning. Welcome back to Ho. It's my favorite day of the week, Thursday, because we get to hang out with the trees. We get to hang out with the tree guides on Thursdays, and I really look forward to Thursdays. I do. I'm excited. So just to recap what we do on Thursdays, we ask the trees, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? And we shuffle the deck and we get some answers, and then we elaborate with the wisdom of trees, and we end with a Celtic tree, and it's just awesome. So yesterday we manifested more elegance. How did that work out for everybody? So let me tell you how it worked out for me as I steal the bone away from the dog. You always do this, girl. As soon as I stopped my podcast, I went outside to go run my errand, right? My little errand that I pick up lunch and then I deliver it to the neighbors, and I'm dressed, right? I got real clothes on. I have real clothes on again. Same pants, different shirt, but still, I feel like I need to be recognized for that. Well, my van did not start. Like, absolutely, like, it just went kirk, 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 just made that, like, empty battery sound. And, okay, so there I am with my dysfunctional van. But guess what? At least I was dressed in real clothes. And I was laughing with my mom about it. It was like, I could have been, like, in that moment, the person that did not have a running van in sweatpants. But no, I was dressed in my nice old lady clothes. And it really didn't seem like that big of a deal, right? So I went and I walked, since I can walk, I walked and picked up the food. And when I came back, I just called my neighbor, and he came down and he gave me a jump, and he actually cleaned off my battery because it was so corroded. So anyways, that was my elegant day. And then, yeah, I cleaned rabbit cages in my nice clothes and flung rabbit turds and really felt like, you know, a little bit better than like bumming around in sweatpants. Not that I have anything against sweatpants, all right? Nothing against sweatpants, but every once in a while, it's like you gotta put on real clothes so you don't feel like such a loser. So if you're in sweatpants right now, push pause and go wash your face. Put on some clothes. You'll feel better. You'll feel better about yourself. Although this weather today in Pennsylvania anyways is screaming sweatpants. Oh my gosh, it's so dreary. Thank God the grass is green. You know, at least we've got some color with that. So anyways, today we're going to hang out with the trees. I never know what we're going to talk about. I can't remember what we even talked about last week. I don't know. What did they want to talk about last week? I should review, but you know what? That was a whole 7 days ago. And we've done a lot in 7 days. We're doing a lot this week too with our herb of the week, lemon balm. She has a great message of reflection and, you know, just being playful and having fun and connecting with the moon. Her first affirmation, if you printed them out and are saying them along with me, is I am happy. Right? If we pound it in our heads again and again, we might actually feel happy. I am happy. I admire and appreciate my friendships. I forgot about that one. I celebrate the community I have attracted. I do appreciate that. Celebrate it though, right? Really get into it. Flow with the rhythm of life. I felt like I put that one into action yesterday. I integrate and release deep emotions, and I connect with the moon and face my fears. I reflect on my spiritual evolution. So I really feel like for it being already Thursday, I really haven't given lemon balm enough play. So today I just make intentions, to go over those affirmations. They're all hanging on my fridge. Really think about them. Really take some time to reflect on whatever I would label as my spiritual evolution, and integrate and release any deep emotions that might be coming up. So connect with the moon, always good. Face my fears, yes. Flow with the rhythm of life. So that's what lemon balm is bringing to us today, all week. And yeah, I really do appreciate her. So on that note, we're going to talk to this deck called The Soul Trees by Allison Williams E. It's 80 vibrant trees, 80 different trees, 80 different topics. It really gives the tree guides a lot of leeway. Well, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about today? Did you have any tree connections this week? Any tree experiences? Maybe just since we are doing lemon balm, and she really does want us to move a little bit slower and be a little bit more reflective. Can you look back on your week this week recently and think did you have any tree connections? Was any certain type of tree? Did it catch your eye? Did you notice anything about trees? Anything in the news about trees? Anything on your Facebook feed about trees? I can think of one thing. There's a lady girl my age. I guess we're lady girls. When you're 40, 42, you're lady girls. There's a lady girl that I follow, and she's always posting stuff that's so opposite of me. Do you know what I'm saying? She just posts stuff, and I'm okay, you're ridiculous. However, she did post something this week that totally resonated with me. In her neighborhood, they're just cutting down all these trees, and she is grieving them. She is so sad, and as many other topics that we disagree on, and I just don't get her political perspective. I think she's just in a lot of ways obnoxious with her negativity. I got the tree post. I was like, oh, that sucks, because I love trees, So it was a magnolia tree. So anyways, maybe there's a message. Ooh, there is a message, I believe, from Magnolia in this Magic of Flowers deck. I'm just gonna grab my cheat card real fast with this Magic of Flowers by Tess Whitehurst. There is a magnolia in that deck, and it has a message to stand in your power. So as this tree is getting cut, she watched it get cut down. She's so sad. Oh, sure, because it's a beautiful tree, but also the magnolia tree has a message to stand in your power. So that's a really good advice for everyone right now. If you're feeling powerless, if you're falling into fear, if you're feeling like you're being bullied, or whatever. Society is such a big bully. I don't even want to go off on this tangent, because it's not about me today, it's about the trees. But however, since a magnolia caught my eye this week, I really feel like that's a great message for me personally, and perhaps you as well, to stand in your power and, do what you think you should do always, and do what you're called to do, and don't do what you're not called to do, and don't do what is just feels like total bullshit for you. All right, so that's the message for Magnolia. Let's do our affirmations legit. Make yourself some tea, and then we will ask the tree guides, what do you want to talk about today? This affirmation is brought to you by our beautiful herb of the week, lemon balm, and I dedicate them all to you. Thank you so much for being here with me. I am happy. I admire and appreciate my friendships. I celebrate the community I have attracted. I flow with the rhythm of life. I integrate and release deep emotions. I connect with the moon and face my fears. I reflect on my spiritual evolution. I am happy. I admire and appreciate my friendships. I celebrate the community I have attracted. I flow with the rhythm of life. I integrate and release deep emotions. I connect with the moon and face my fears. I reflect on my spiritual evolution. And so it is. Yeah, so there's something about here in Lemon Balm saying, like, I connect with the moon. It made me want to turn off my lamp. It was like, you know what? Embrace darkness when it's a dark moon, when it's a new moon, when it's a skinny little crescent, half moon. Like, there are certain nights when the moonlight is just not very much or at all, and it seems like a very, very dark night. A new moon night with an overcast sky, you know, pitch black, truly. And it's like, take more time to embrace the dark moments. What were we talking about? Oh, what was that? Was that just last week, California Poppy, that really wanted us to have our nighttime selves? And at night, make sure all your lights are off. Make sure there's no street lamps coming in through the window. Make sure you turn your electronics off, even light a candle. Like, get to know your nighttime self and embrace the darkness. So Lemon Balm too kind of like carries on that vibe this week. And yeah, just to take time to be in that darkness and be reflective. There are many, many times where we have to go into our darkness to continue on our spiritual journey, to do some of our healing work. And yeah, so yeah, it just prompted me to want to turn off the lamp. And you know, even though it's an overcast and dreary AF day, it's so dreary, there's still plenty of light coming in on the table. And yeah, let's do that. All right, so on that note, trees, what do you want to talk about today? I leave it open to you. You can talk about whatever you want. It's totally up to the trees, totally up to this deck. And then we will elaborate, of course. I'm going to give it a nice shuffle though, and we'll just sort of see. All right, so let's see what topic we have on hand. Whoa, all right, there we go. There's some cards chucking themselves out on the floor already. And we also have one sticking straight up. Nice. All right, so interesting. I'm going to pull out the one that's sticking straight up. If I need to look at the top and bottom, I will too. So we have two very contrasting cards, and the way I picked them up, one's reversed and one's upright, but we have tranquility and passion. We literally have one blue calming sea of oceans and greens tranquility card compared to a tree that looks like it's on fire, just lit up with passion. And it's a white tree, but there's red and fuchsia and yellow all around it. So I feel like, you know, kind of what we were already sort of stepping towards, you know, embracing the darkness, having that downtime. We do have to have a balance right now. This to me says contrasting energy, but also balancing of energy, right? So it's like the tranquility one is actually reversed though. It is the one that is reversed. And but it's still very calming. It's flowing, sort of hanging and swaying. It could be underwater. This whole tree could be completely submerged in water for all that we know, especially when it's upside down. it starts to maybe kind of give you the idea of like floating kelp, but in a more bluish way. So it's like, where are we coming from? Like, we all want passion. We want passion in our lives. We want projects. We want purpose. Ooh, we want that fiery fuel. However, it needs to be tempered. It needs to be balanced. And if it's getting a little bit out of hand, you almost have to like literally schedule yourself time to chill out. Like, if at the end of the day you just cannot even relax because you're just like go, but you're, still exhausted, like, it's saying you got to make time to meditate, maybe take a bath at night, just find that tranquility, that peace. So yeah, and likewise, it's saying like, if you've had too much tranquility, right, you're just like, you're too chill, man. You're too chill, man. It's time to get some new light, some new energy, to some new things going on. So let's see. I want to see what the card popping up in the middle. In the middle, the one that was popping up is Rebirth. So I want to put her on top of these two, because what's really interesting about the Rebirth coloring, it's like her trunk is blue and green, like the tranquility, but her branches and blossoms are pink and yellow. Now, it's a way muted version of pink and yellow that's in the Passion, but it's sort of like if the Passion tree literally sprouted up its lava fire up through the tranquility tree, by the time it got up through all those calming waters, you would just have this light pinkish and light yellow and light green, right? So even like fiery lava gets chilled out through tranquility. And then you do have something gentler but beautiful. So I guess like the thing that the tree is trying to say is, yeah, we're coming into an energy now of rebirth. And even though it took all this fiery, crazy passion, right? Maybe even a little bit of rage and fuel and people being nuts, if they can get through this sea of tranquility, what's going to be rebirthed into the world is actually a more beautiful, calmer version than we maybe even, we'll be kind of surprised almost, like, whoa, this is like really actually beautiful here. And inside of ourselves too, we'll be like, wow, I didn't realize that like I had such a feminine side, or I had such a beautiful, compassionate, caring, sweet, gentle side. So it's like, yeah, we've got this fiery passion, but it's gotta go through us and teach, and we need to be taught how to be calm no matter what. And the rebirth, what's coming up through the rebirth, is just absolute sweetness and beauty. So on the bottom is Believe reversed, so you might not believe that. And on the top, here's a one that we got before, is Detachment. So yeah, that detachment tree, also the same coloring as the Tranquility tree, a little bit more blue, a little bit more intense with the green, but in the same color family whatsoever. So here on the left, it's like we have that reminder to kind of detach a little bit. I'm going to float these two cards in the corners because they're not completely connected, because it's like saying, like, just remember, everything goes according to your belief system. Everything goes according to what you believe in. So we have the Believe reversed on the Passion side. And what's really interesting about the Believe tree is there are these hot pink fuchsia and light pink buds. speckled through this whitish tree. Now it's muted more, it's more pastel, but it's almost as if this passion, this fiery, this volcanic energy spit up enough into the beliefs, right, that some of them took hold. Some of them took hold. So even though we're rebirthing into like more beautiful, calm, detached energy, let us not forget that it was this fiery fuel of passion that got the waters moving, right? That made the boiling bubbles happen, that helped with the rebirth. So yeah, it was tranquility and passion together is what is going to rebirth this new energy, whether you believe it or not, right? But it's like, yeah, what you believe now. It is reversed, so I feel like the trees are saying, they're kind of just like, if you could just believe it's possible, it could manifest so much quicker. But you humans just hardly believe anything is possible. You just doubt and you look for things that aren't working. And it's saying, like, in a way, you know, it was like, we want you to be detached from the outcome. We want you to be calm and in your place of peace and really kind of almost detached from the outcome, what happens. However, you have to watch that your detachment doesn't go into pessimism. Like, that's not being detached. Being negative and pessimistic and things like that, that's not detachment. Detachment is actually very neutral. Detachment is like, I'm just floating in the sea of tranquility, and whether we go this way or that way or whatever, like, it's okay with me, right? There's a lot of peace and equanimity in that state of being. So anyways, this is what the trees want to talk about today. We definitely need to elaborate on this, but yeah, the energy of rebirth is center stage. In the reverse cards are believe, detachment, and tranquility, but the upright card, pulsing, spitting, and on fire, is passion. So what card there did you resonate the most with? So just like I encourage you to pay attention to what trees spark your interest, what trees catch your attention, if you have any specific trees that come into your experience. Out of those 5 cards now, think about which card sparked a connection with you, or you resonated with, or you could relate to. So asking myself that same question now, I think it's the detachment card, actually. That message, I felt like, was the one that was specifically meant for me to hear, because I feel like there was some energy this week that I just was like so almost repulsed by, that it took my detachment into that place that was no longer neutral. It was like, to hell with all this. Do you know what I mean? So like, I feel like that's a good message to hear again. Detachment is supposed to be something neutral. If we start getting into like F off with all this bullshit type of vibe, that's not detachment anymore. That's actually judgment and hatred. It's judgment and hatred. So just be aware of it, especially if you're on a path like me, that you really are trying to observe yourself and try to notice where you're at. Not judge yourself, not try to control yourself, just know where you are at. All right, so I'm shuffling. I'm just trying to shuffle and get going here. And the Bristlecone Pine falls out of my shuffle reversed. So I really can't just shove them back in there. Is this the one that is like half dead? Yeah. This is my card, apparently, that needed to come in. The Bristlecone Pine is all about persistence. But to me, it always reminds me that even if half of you is dead, even if like half of you is dead to the world, you can still keep going. You can still live a really long time. The cool thing about the Bristlecone Pine, and it's really like gnarly and scrawny, and yeah, literally half of it is dead, and then the other half of it doesn't seem like it has much going on about it, but its needles on the Bristlecone Pine can stay green for over 40 years before dying. So it's an incredible long-lived, it's extremely long-lived. It's about 50 feet tall. It's native to the United States. It bears catkins and cones, but the Bristlecone Pine Deva is all about persistence. So she says, yeah, my needles can stay green for over 40 years before dying. So I can help you to learn the art of persistence. My ability to survive for thousands of years means I have witnessed many turbulent events, but I continue to grow despite of them all. So I feel like, it's not too often that we only get one card from this deck, because, right, usually I'm like top and bottom. But one fell out, and I feel like it is just the perfect tree for us, the Bristlecone Pine, because she lives for thousands of years. She's seen some shit, 100%. She has seen plagues. She's seen pandemics. She's seen entire families come and go, right? But she continues to grow despite them all. So Bristlecone pines are honored for their immense longevity. Some are thought to be the oldest single living organism in the world. Once a Great Basin bristlecone, popularly known as Methuselah, is believed to be over 4,800 years old. 4,800 years old. 4,800 years old. Whoa. The bristlecone pine survives for so long because damaged bark and wood die back, thereby sending sap to healthy parts of the tree. Old trees have several trunks and they can support healthy crowns from a surprisingly small amount of living bark. Now, this came in reversed for us, though, so I don't feel like the trees are commending us for doing a very good job. It's saying, you would just want to give up so easy. You have, one bad day where a lot of energies are coming through, a lot of passion from the collective, a lot of things you need to integrate, and all we're asking you is to find a calm space, detach a little bit, believe that it's possible so you can rebirth into this new energy. And you just want to quit. You just want to give up. You just want to put on your sweatpants and lay down and die and be grumpily angry about it. I feel like the trees are kind of saying, come on. We have been through so much. The bristlecone pine literally jumped out of the deck to say, right here, excuse me, sometimes I live for over 4,000 years. What's your deal? What's your problem? You can't even get through a week. So anyways, it is reversed, and she has a message in verse saying, this is a good time to limit your losses, especially if things are not going the way that you want. Perhaps you need to reduce some of your plans or adapt them to fit your changing circumstances. Remember that sometimes simplicity is best. So I feel like she really does want us to pare down. And life is asking everyone to do that right now. Whether you think the coronavirus is really something to try to hide away from, or you think it's a hoax or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You're still caught up in it. Like, you're still caught up in what's going on. And it's saying, hey, let's just simplify. Maybe this is one of those times in life. Turbulent. How did she call it? A turbulent event. It's definitely a turbulent event. And so what you're trying to learn here is the art of persistence. So just limit your losses by paring down. Reduce your plans or adapt them to fit your changing circumstances. Simplicity is just sometimes the best. And I feel like there's a little humor in that, because really, simplicity is like always the best. Right? Simplicity is pretty much always the way to go. So Bristlecone Pine, she also wants to say that life does not always run smoothly. It doesn't always run smoothly, and you are currently facing difficulties. So do your best to remain strong and steadfast during these troubling times. Persist with your goals while learning from your setbacks. So yeah, if you feel like your tranquility has been challenged, it's like usually you do walk the middle ground. Usually it's really easy to detach and not really care. But it's like, dang, this is really challenging you. These difficulties are really testing you. They're almost making you fiery, a little too fiery at some point. Bristlecone Pine really does want you to detach, get into that place of tranquility, find what's still alive within you, what's doing well, right? Nourish, keep alive, keep the hope alive. But she just wants you to just take a step back and realize that, you know what? Sometimes things don't go smoothly. Yeah, this isn't maybe how you thought 2020 was going to be going. But you can still do your best to remain strong and steadfast, right? You can still do your best to try to believe and to keep flowing your passion into what's important. Do you want to rebirth into a new energy here on Earth? Everyone's like, I can't wait till it goes back to normal. Well, normal sucked ass. What? No, we don't want to go back to normal. We need to rebirth into something better, something more gentle. Because what we had going on wasn't working. It certainly wasn't working for the trees and the environment in the skies. Like, pollution has gone down drastically since everyone's been keeping their ass at home. So it's like, yeah, we do need to adopt more of a simple way of life. Okay, so it's like, just detach enough. Try to find your peace. Try not to get too negative. See, even there, I got negative. I wasn't being detached there. I was being judgy. I was being JB. And really keep flowing that energy in the right direction. But also make sure that we're taking that energy. Like, don't just always be putting it out too. Make sure you are investing in the parts of you that are persistent, that are still alive. Just like she does, she sends her energy to the healthy parts of the tree, and that's how she can keep on going. So when some of her bark, her damaged bark dies, right, she just sort of lets that go. The damaged bark and the wood die back, but she sends up new sprouts, right? She sends up sap to the healthy part of the tree. What she say, she can have many, where was it at? Many, I don't know. I thought she said she can have several trunks. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. She can have several trunks. And that's an interesting concept, because it's like, it's sort of like us in our life too. It's like when you think of who you were 20 years ago, is that still your core of who you are, or did that trunk, you don't use that part of you anymore? It's like sometimes you have to let the old versions of yourself go. You have to let them go. You have to let them die, release them, so that now with this rebirth energy, you can focus on the healthy, gentle, living part of you. Who you were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that is not the part that you will be rebirthing into the new energy. Not one bit. So that's a good advice from the Bristlecone Pine. Start investing your energy in the parts of you that you do want to rebirth and that you do want to take with you into your long future, because you still got a ways to go, for sure. Yeah, Bristlecone Pine completely fascinates me. Like, how do we have trees that are over 4,000, that live for thousands of years? It's just incredible. And yeah, it's not a very, it's gnarly. It's gnarly. It's been through a lot. There's a spider making a cobweb on the living part of the tree. There's a little bird perched on the dead part of the tree. And I'm wondering if we have some around here. I really want to see a Bristlecone Pine in real life, just to like be near it and feel its energy. And yeah, just to be near it. Don't you just like being near trees? Oh, I love trees. I love it. I love them. And think about how upset my Facebook friend is about this magnolia tree. I like quote the hell out of Facebook friends, because none of you sons of guns are my friends. Facebook, it's such a love-hate relationship with me. That's why I think the detached card is really like speaking to me personally. Like, where is that healthy level of detachment? Where is that healthy level of tranquility, balance with passion? Where are those healthy parts of me that I want to keep on investing in? Where is my healthy level of belief? Believe. Yeah, because we want to have a healthy, beautiful rebirthing. Because it could be rough. It could definitely be rough. Isn't that the truth? It's kind of like as rough as you create it to be. All right, so now it's time for Celtic trees. Celtic trees. But yeah, anyways, what I was saying was my Facebook friend was so upset about a magnolia tree that I'm assuming was definitely 100 years old. Sure, at least getting there. But can you imagine the heartache to see a tree that's thousands of years old being cut down? Because if somebody came upon this tree, they would be like, oh, that thing looks terrible, chop it down. But like, to think like that it's been there for thousands of years, oh, that hurts to even think about. So yeah, like, these are definitely trees that should be honored and protected for their resiliency, for their persistence, for their ability to adapt and keep on living. Really, true survivors. True survivors. But you know, to me, like, that does sort of bring up, like, it's like, well, how long do you want to just keep surviving? You know, like, do you want to be an old gnarly tree that lives forever? Or do you want to, like, just sort of be like this lush, beautiful thing that's like just so incredible and smells so good? And yeah, it only lives a tiny bit compared to the Bristlecone Pine. Like what do you really want in life? I think it's okay to want either one. Like, some people want to live fast and furious and intensely full of passion, and then man, they're out as quick as they're in. And then other people, really, they're more attracted to like a slow tortoise kind of existence. Like, yeah, like you're 1,000 years old, but you really haven't done much. Yeah, you've seen some things, but did you really have a full blooming experience? And it really doesn't matter which one you want. It's not like saying one's right, one's wrong. I'm just noticing the gap. I am just noticing how different existences can be so different. That's all. All right, so on that note, the Celtic Tree Oracle. Who wants to come through? Do we want one card, two cards? What can elaborate on, getting through these turbulent times, finding that tranquility, finding that passion? All right, so let's see who's on the top. Alder. Alder's on the top. I have to go with on the bottom too. I hope you're not in a hurry. It is Ivy, number 12, but it's reversed. So we have number 3, Alder. We have me clearing my throat. And we have number 12, reversed, Ivy. Ooh, so this is kind of interesting. Now talk about different experiences. We have this alder tree, very solid, the morning lights banging in behind it. It feels like it's in its glory. It's very strong. We have ivy, which is just a bunch of scrawny ass twigs. It's a vine. It's not even a tree. How'd you get in here? And it's on the right side of Bristlecone Pine. It's also reversed. And then over here on our blue, easygoing, flowing side, we have the alder tree. Number 3, one of my favorite numbers. I love the number 3. Very strong. Yeah, interesting how they're so different. But now the ivy, it could probably go this way, that way, have a more exciting, this tree is like you are where you are. Ivy can climb. Ivy can travel. Ivy can go almost, it's almost a walking tree in a way. So anyways, let's get the book, because that's all I got, is just noticing the difference in between these two things, these two, Alder and Ivy. Alder and Ivy. So number 3 is first. The first word that jumps out to me is Merlin. The deities and guides are Bran and Brawin of Welsh mythology and Merlin. So interesting that we have some Merlin energy coming through. Also dragon energy, raven, wren, and kingfisher are the totems associated with the alder tree. So the key words for the alder is guidance, prophecy, and divination. Strength in a dispute or battle, spiritual protection, balance between the masculine and feminine energies. So yeah, our very first cards were tranquility and passion. And I said they're going to help balance each other out. We could not have two different cards starting us out today. And really, when you look at the divine feminine and the divine masculine separately, you could not have two different energies, right? One's soft and nurturing, and one's more direct and forceful and get things done, right? One's compassionate and caring. And yeah, we've got this strength of the divine masculine. Well, as different as they are, they balance each other out. There is a perfect, beautiful, divine balance in conjunction with the two. So Alder is always about guidance and initiative. This tree also represents leadership, power, and strength. If you need backbone in a dispute, this tree offers you strength and resolve as well as protection. So, it's like that Bristlecone Pine really doesn't look strong or healthy. No offense, girl, but you look old and haggard. Yeah, you can live for thousands of years, but it looks like you're struggling at times. And the Alder is strength. The Alder is backbone. The Alder holds both male and female powers and shows us how to balance these aspects within us. So Alder also encourages us to be our own oracle, to look within for guidance, to update our intentions and assert our plans. And so, that was the thing with Bristlecone Pine too. It was like, hey, you might need to update your intentions or your plans. Like, yeah, you didn't think you were going to have to deal with this. Now you have to adapt. Now you have to, maybe pare down, make a little self-sacrifice for the good of the community. But it's what you need to do now. So Alder is especially connected to prophecy. It reminds you of your bird and animal totems, as well as your guardian spirits and allies. And Alder really wants you to quiet down. That's why it's on this side of the tranquility and the detachment, and really detach from your mind, quiet down, go within, and listen and feel and sit quietly and await your inner guidance. It's time to call on your guides. It's time to call on your guides and listen to their messages. So Alder is definitely a tree that asks you to reconnect with your ancestral energies, your ancestors, your spiritual lineage. So we often get messages to connect with our ancestors for our spiritual guidance. And Alder is also saying that as well. So be alert to synchronicities in your daily life. Look to your dreams and record their wisdom. Ooh, I had such weird dreams last night. Oh my God. Yeah, but you know what? Your dreams are always showing you something. So look to them, record their wisdom. If you set this intention, they will inform you. So if you've noticed that your dreams are becoming more vivid and weird and strange, okay, use this new energy that you've got now in your dreamscape and set the intention before you go to bed. Please show me a message. Please inform me of something, like show me. It's just one way that you can get guidance. Alder also says it may also be time to use your divination tools or consult a trusted friend or psychic. What does your intuition tell you? What does your gut say? If you are involved in a dispute or conflict, this tree offers you spiritual strength and protection. So yeah, there is a strong male energy coming from this tree. It's very upright, like it is solid. So if you need to have a backbone in strength and something in your life, like you really are going to have to stand up for what you believe in, you can call on the energy of Alder. Alder provides a bridge over troubled waters. So that's really, really amazing too, because like the tranquility and the detachment and the rebirth, we've got these ocean water colors, the ocean watercolors. And it's saying, and Bristlecone Pine is saying, yeah, if it all of a sudden does become turbulent, right, this fiery passion lava literally starts to get this water to boil and move and become turbulent. We have this strong energy coming in now from Alder. So what does that mean though? You have to balance your energies, your masculine, your feminine. Maybe you're being too aggressive, you're being too assertive. Maybe you're being too passive or dependent. Maybe you're giving away your power. You need to go into yourself, find that inner sense of authority, your inner authority, and learn to balance it and discern. Trust your feelings, your thoughts, your visions. Alder wants you to dive deep into your inner knowing. Yeah. So anyways, you really need to trust yourself and listen to yourself. You know, find that balance. It does want to warn you, though. It does want to warn you that it's like if you are being like ruthless, if you are just, like I said, you're not detached anymore, you're judging, you're just being a right-wing jerk or a left-wing loser. I mean, you're just like, you are so far extreme on one side or the other. You literally are not even being open to listen to anyone else, but it's not from an inner guided, wise place. You're just so caught up in the right or left side of your ego. So anyways, Alder wants you to return to the middle path and create a more balanced life. So yeah, you have help. You're never alone. Alder is here saying, like, find that middle ground, find that balance. Check yourself, observe yourself. Like, if you really are just losing your sense of neutral detachment, let's get back to it a little bit, a lot of bit, completely bit. Go back to being detached, that middle ground, so that you can see clearly, that you can think and feel and receive clearly, that you can be balanced. Ooh, I like that. I like that so much. So yeah, don't get overly dependent on your masculine or your feminine. Make sure right now you're integrating, you're balancing, and you understand that you do have spiritual protection. But yeah, the best way to find that is by going within and balancing those energies. So let's get the message from the Alder Deva. It's very sweet, and then we'll end and see what the hell Ivy wants. I am the Alder, and I am delighted to speak with you today. What is your question? Take a moment to really contemplate what you want to know. Now, listen deeply. Sit in the silence at your heart center. Take all the time you need. When you feel ready, look out the window or go for a walk. Notice which birds you see. A raven or crow can bring a message from your ancestors or loved ones that have passed over. There is no one on the planet that has your specific signature energy, expression of divinity, and soul purpose. How do you connect with your purpose? Look to what brings you joy. And if you don't know, experiment. See what makes your heart sing. This is the road that leads to your fulfillment and sense of purpose. If you seek renewal, I am here to help you. I provide the nutrients for new growth, even after difficult challenges. I am here to help you begin again, to help you build a new foundation. and to help bridge your physical identity and your spiritual identity and your ego desires and your soul aspiration. Just for today, breathe in balance. Breathe in calm. Know that you don't have to do anything. Listen and wait, and the information you seek will come. You will know the answer. I am always here listening to you and helping you. Your dreams and visions are important, and I will help you manifest them. Take a moment to find that place within that is in true balance. From this place, you are regenerated and encouraged. You are ready to begin again. So what's really awesome about that was awesome, Alder. That was awesome. Yeah, we have all this coming under the Rebirth card and, the regeneration card with the Bristlecone Pine. If we need more balance, Alder is here to help us. But what great advice. Look to what brings you joy. So that passion card is so important. No one has your blueprint, right? You are going to want to do things in your life that nobody else is going to want to do. You're a unique individual, and it's just so important for you to find out exactly what makes your heart sing, what makes you tick, and what makes you talk, because that is what you need to be doing. Truly. That's how you connect with your purpose, right? So for most people, it does not make sense to them why I would want to every single day play with cards, right? And think about things and contemplate things. But for whatever effing reason, that's what floats my boat. So that's what I get up and do every day. Why? Because it brings me joy. It really does. Does it help hopefully bridge my physical and my spiritual identity? I hope so. It sure does. Does it help merge my ego desires and my soul aspiration? I hope so. If not, what the hell am I doing, So I love that, we have the tranquility card and Alder saying, just for today, breathe in balance, breathe in calm. Know that you don't have anything to do. And I almost laughed when I read that because, I have to leave in 10 minutes. So actually, I do have things I have to do today. My alarm's going to go off in literally 10 minutes. So I need to wrap it up with the ivy. So our number 12 that's reversed, the key words is labyrinth, inner knowing, steady growth, determination, soul searching, spiral dance, DNA, and spiritual journey. So yeah, it's like, what do we believe is possible with this new rebirthing, the new earth? Our DNA being activated in new ways. Evolution, baby, it's what it's all about. This spiritual journey, this spiral dance. So ivy often grows in spirals toward the light, always towards the light. It offers us a pattern to model for individuation and soul growth. It can grow almost anywhere, even pushing through concrete walls. It never gives up. It never gives up. It is thought that there was, it is thought that there were once 13 astrological signs, that Virgo may originally have been divided into 2 signs, Wait, what freaking rabbit hole are we going down here? Anyways, Ivy, regardless of whatever the hell that's saying, Ivy promises growth, resurrection, and renewal. So this has, the totems are spider and wolf, and that's cool to me because there is a spider cobweb in the Bristlecone Pine. And Ivy promises triumph. And the wolf energy is all about protection as we move into our shadow to gain insight. All right, let's jump to the reverse meaning. So it's on the side of passion and believe, which believe is also reversed. And Ivy wants to just end with a little bit of a message, calling us out on our shit, saying, you know what, you're avoiding some inner work. You've been avoiding that shadow work. You're avoiding a little bit of stuff that will lead you to a higher level of consciousness and development. So remember how Alder was saying you gotta listen to yourself and don't give your power away. Don't overly listen to other people. Ivy is also confirming that maybe you've become overly reliant upon other people for your identity and your self-worth. So if you're having a lack of soul growth, if you find that you have little self-knowledge, if your limited insight into your own motivations, like you're like shadow work, I don't even know my shadow side. Ivy's coming in to say that you need to get to know yourself better. You need to get to know what your passions are, what your talents are, what your resources are, what all aspects of you are, what your intuition is. It's like, dude, do you even know yourself? Like, you've been living with yourself this whole lifetime, and you don't even hardly know yourself. So Gort Ivy is kind of saying like, hey, if you've never begun that journey within, now is the time to do that. To begin your journey into yourself. So yeah, maybe you will need a teacher, a helper, a therapist. Go back and listen to all 200 of my podcasts. I will demonstrate to you how you go within and you question yourself and you contemplate yourself and you observe yourself and you call yourself out on your own bullshit and you get to know yourself. And you even get to know those aspects of yourself that are embarrassing AF. So because Ivy can grow anywhere, sometimes it breaks things apart. So since we got it reversed today, Ivy wants us to question and consider our intentions. Are we being selfish? Are we being unconscious? Are we being negative, right? That detachment that we took it too far. Do we need to check our ego needs at the door? Like, yeah, we want everyone to be happy. We want our spiritual nature and our ego nature to be living in balance and harmony in this reality. But have we taken it too far? So maybe we need to check our ego, amigo. And Ivy can also stick to things. So make sure you are not overly invested in others or overly enmeshed. It is time to grow towards the light. So yeah, and I just look up and I see 1111 on the ticker, on my recording ticker. So that to me says, if you've been sleeping, this is your wake-up call. If you've been lazy with your spiritual development, now it's time for you to really ignite that passion within you and follow your true calling. And quit relying on other people. Quit relying on other people for your self-worth and your self-identity. So Ivy wants to come in now to wrap us up and finish us off. Hello, I am Ivy, and it is my greatest pleasure to assist you to know yourself and evolve your consciousness. Please don't be afraid to slow down as you begin the journey of self-discovery.
I ask that you be as truthful as possible with yourself now. Take yourself seriously. What are your special dreams and desires? I ask you to feel your feelings, not run from them. Sit quietly. Even though they may be difficult or painful, you honor yourself by admitting that your feelings are part of you. Once you feel them, they have less of a hold on you. Imagine that you are reweaving your life, taking out old stories that hold you back and weaving in new strands of courage, play, love, creativity. You are the master of your own story, so write it well. Ask Mother Spider to help you. She has many wonderful ideas for you, as she can see into your heart and soul and understands what you are here to do. She will help you move towards your blessed destiny. So isn't that so sweet from Ivy? And doesn't that make me feel so bad for squishing my spider friend that was living in my iPad hole the other week? Anyways, if you missed that, go back. Go back to last week's podcast and hear about the spider living in my iPad hole. Anyways, you've got to start following your dreams. You've got to give yourself permission to feel your feelings and be a whole, complete, balanced person. Your masculine, your feminine, your ego, your spirit, like balance it out. Figure out what is your special dreams. What are your desires? And then, yeah, honey, kindergarten teacher Sadie, stepping up. Feel your feelings. You gotta feel your feelings. They're part of you. And as soon as you feel them completely, they have less hold on you. And I love that spider energy came in again. We had that cobweb with Bristlecone Pine, and now Mother Spider is also saying, hey, I've got ideas for you. I know what your heart desires. I understand what your soul wants to do here. Let's weave and rebirth a new storage from ourselves. Let's get rid of the old stories that are broken and crumbling and rotting. The Bristlecone Pine knows how to do this. And let's weave in some courage, some love, some playfulness, and creativity. So anyways, that's what the trees wanted to talk about today. Rebirthing our energy into a new, passionate, yet balanced and tranquil way of being. Strong, masculine, feminine, and yeah, independent AF. Knowing who we are and knowing what our hearts and souls came here to do.